What's good, guys? Welcome back to Win by Two. I'm Chris,
Bharath.
and today we're going to break down the Western Conference playoff predictions for this upcoming 2016-2017 season. Alright, so one seed, I don't think we have to argue there.
Yeah,
Same as the Eastern Conference video. You got to go with the Warriors.
Yeah.
Like, they're just too good. With you guys know about the Warriors.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, KD, Draymond.
I don't think they'll get to 73 wins.
Yeah, I think that we've learned from this past season that burnt us out.
Yeah.
And is way and honestly, when the playoffs come around, no one gives a shit about how many wins you had in the regular season.
Yeah, and that was the whole slander during the off season, was that they won 73 games and couldn't finish with
but they had nothing to show for it.
So no one really cares anymore. I think they'll probably end up with like 67, which is saying
honestly,
something.
As long as they get the first seed, then they'll be happy with it.
Yeah.
I think even having the second seed can be a huge part of their success in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Say if they come up with the one seed in the Western Conference Finals, that's like the Spurs or something, then that's gonna be way harder to win Game 7 than when you're at home. Okay, so number 2, I'm gonna stick with the Spurs.
Yeah, I'll stick with the Spurs too. Kept a good core. They have Powell now. I think that really helps as a 5.
Mm-hmm. I think he's a great like trade, or not trade, but like a swap for Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's the same type of player, and he can stretch the floor just as much, and you're not gonna get any drop off in production.
No, and you'll get probably a better playmaker, or as good as playmaker as Timmy. So I think that's there.
All right, so number 3. It was OKC, but I think they're gonna drop a little bit. I gotta go with the Clippers.
Okay.
I think DeAndre Jordan, he's only getting better, and you forget that they didn't have Blake for 3/4 of the season last season too. So him, DeAndre, CP3, JJ Redick, and then guys like Austin Rivers, that he was solid off the bench last year, and then and he's okay off the bench.
Yeah.
And they re-signed Jamal Crawford, who's still putting up great numbers considering he's like 40 years old. And I think they're just a solid 3 seed.
Yeah, I'm going surprise here. I'm going Utah. I will explain.
This guy loves Utah.
I will explain
they
why
weren't
Utah.
Even in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but they had a ton of injuries everywhere at different segments of the season, which they never were in full force. So obviously health is an issue. But assuming that everyone's back and healthy, this team is going to be incredible. I think 1 to 10 they're solid. I think as good as 1 to 10 as anyone you have in the league. And
I like their guys like Gordon Hayward, Rodney Hood, Alec Burks. They traded Exum. Who's their point guard?
George Hill.
I forgot
Rudy
they got George
Gobert.
Hill.
Derek Favors, Trey Lyles. Mm-hmm. The list goes on. But Joe Johnson, Boris Diaw.
Honestly, that team is 1 through 10, 11 deep.
Yeah. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
All
right. So for the 4th seed, I'm gonna go with. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with Portland. Yeah. I like what Damian Lillard and CJ did last year, and then they got slightly better this upcoming season, and they didn't really lose any big pieces. They re-signed Allen Crabbe to that huge deal, 4 years, $75 million. That's too much, by the way, for Allen Crabbe. But they wanted to keep their core together, and they got Evan Turner, and who's not gonna shoot the ball very well for you, but he's gonna give you at least 10 points a game.
Yeah, he'll give you like 10, 5, 5, one of those numbers. Mm-hmm. At the 4, right, I got the Clippers. Obviously, it's just he projected 3. I got 4 because Utah is going to be that good. But I think, they've got a strong 3, as good as any 3 in the league. I mean, their small forward is still a problem. But I think, they've added Maurice Bates to the bench. Obviously, another weapon with Jamal Crawford. Obviously, he said Austin Rivers, Wesley Johnson. So I think, they have enough.
I think that bench is still a problem. Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. But I think they have enough star power to get to the 4th seed.
Yeah. All right. So for the 5th seed, it was the Blazers last season. I'll go with Memphis. They didn't have Marc Gasol all last season, and people forget that he's arguably the best center in the league. Yeah. And I think him re-signing Mike Conley to that atrocious deal, but they had to keep Mike Conley. There was no other point guard on the market.
Yeah.
And then Zebo he'll still give you maybe like a 14 and 8.
Yeah.
And then they lost Jeff Green, and who's it 3? Well, they still have Tony Allen.
Yes, Tony Allen.
So I mean that's a solid core that's been together for the past 5+ years.
Yeah.
And I think that's solid enough for the 5 seed.
Yeah. So this is the 5th seed. I will go with. I'll go with Memphis too. I think they get Marc Gasol back. They re-signed Mike Conley. Got Chandler Parsons. I think their bench is.
Oh, they do have Chandler. I forgot who their 3 was. Yeah.
I think their bench is a little iffy, but I think they've got enough power. They've got enough wiggle room on the core to really keep them together. Yeah. Really push them enough to get to the playoffs. I think the West is a little weaker this year, so I expect some more. Because
the Warriors and the Spurs are so top heavy.
Yeah, and the Warriors essentially knocked off the Thunder as well. So really, I think 3 down, 2 down is really wide open for anyone. So I think anyone could have a different opinion.
Yeah, I think 3 down is pretty wide open.
Yeah.
for a handful of teams.
Yeah. So I'll say Memphis at a 5. I could expect them to fall to 7, but I'll keep them at 5.
All right, so at number 6, I'm gonna go with a team that didn't make the playoffs last season.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with New Orleans.
Okay.
Because AD was hurt for a lot of last season.
Yeah.
And was Drew Holiday hurt too?
Yeah. He was.
Yeah. So they had a lot of injuries, and they were relying on guys like Tyreek Evans and Eric Gordon to carry them.
He was also injured, and they don't have Eric Blood, so they have Eric Gordon.
Yeah, Eric Gordon. Yeah. And Eric Gordon signed with Houston this past season, which is not gonna work. But I think Buddy Hield is a great piece to, instead of Eric Gordon, to fit that team, because Eric Gordon needed the ball a lot, but Buddy Hield, he's just gonna come in known for his shooting, so he's not gonna demand the ball. He's gonna come off screens and then pick him and then get shots from Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
But then I think Anthony Davis goes back to being a possible MVP contender type player, and I think he can carry them alone to the 6th seed at least.
Yeah, I will put Portland at the 6. I think they did a good job keeping that core. I don't know if I have New Orleans making the playoffs. That'll yet to be seen. But I think
really,
I don't know. I'm not sold on their core yet. They really just have a couple pieces there. Nothing great to show on the bench. But Portland has done a good job keeping that.
When you have a guy like Anthony Davis, that single-handedly carried the team to the playoffs in 2014, 2015.
I think that was also a problem with the teams in the Western Conference was also weak. Yet they considered Kevin Durant was injured that season, so really there was no one. It was just
they did make Russell did take them to the playoffs too that season.
No, that was the season they went 9th. Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah. So I think
my bad.
So I think. Yeah, so what was that? Okay, so Portland did a good job keeping their core together. I think they're kind of stuck in limbo, but, I think they will fall down a little. I think they exceeded expectations by large amounts, so watch a little regression to the mean. So I expect them at the 6th seed.
All right, so at number 7, I'm going to take your team. I'm going to take Utah. Like you said, they got a great 1 through 10, 1 through 11, and I don't think I even have to explain Utah anymore. They're definitely going to be a playoff team this year. They were only 1 game out of the playoffs last season. Yeah. And they were in it with the last 4 games left of the season, but then they lost a few games here and there, and then they ended up becoming the 9th seed.
Exactly. So where I'm 7, right? I actually got Houston. I think Houston is going to have a huge offensive firepower with Ryan Anderson. Eric Gordon was pretty successful.
Where's the defense?
I will explain that in a second. But I think, there's going to be a lot of offensive firepower. I think Eric Gordon works well off the ball. We see it with Drew Holiday whenever they were both healthy, which is a small sample. But
let me ask you this. Are James Harden and Eric Gordon going to play together?
Yeah. I think you could still move Eric Gordon off the ball.
So you're going to put James at the 2 and Eric Gordon at the 1?
This is where I consider positionless basketball. I never liked this point guard. I don't think we're in that era of point guard, shooting guard, small forward anymore.
So you're going to move Patrick Beverley to the bench?
Yeah, I think you can leave him at the bench, or you can even leave him in and have Eric Gordon as a 6th man. I think you could potentially, in stretches of the game, I could see Eric Gordon and James Harden coexisting, as James Harden as your primary ball handler, creating. I mean, he averaged 8 assists a game, so I think he's a willing facilitator.
I really have no faith in him. I think James Harden is a bad leader, and he doesn't play enough defense to warrant me respecting him and him leading his own team. And I feel like losing Dwight Howard, they had a playoff team for the past 4 years, like a possible great playoff team for the past 4 years with Dwight Howard, but they didn't take advantage of it. Yeah. And instead James Harden and him just butted heads. I think James Harden isn't gonna carry this team to the playoffs this season, and I don't like the pickup of Eric Gordon, because that's just that's just another James Harden who needs the ball and wants to score all the time. I like Ryan Anderson for that team because James Harden can drive it and kick it out to Ryan Anderson. He's not going to demand the ball a lot. Yeah. But I really don't think Aaron
D'Antoni can implement a nice.
And they have D'Antoni. Yeah. Where's the defense going to come from?
The defense isn't going to be there, but they will outscore.
You think that's going to be a 7 seed? A team that doesn't play defense?
This Western Conference is actually very weak this year. I'm not a huge fan of the Western Conference. I think three down.
For you for the AC.
Yeah, if it's Minnesota, I think that's the team I have as well.
I got Minnesota as the 8th seed. Yeah. I got a lot of faith in this young team. Yeah. I think Wiggins and Towns, both guys that can put up 20 and 10. And
20 and 10. You
20,
think
I think Wiggins can put up 20. 20, 27 and 4, something like that. You know.
As a non-facilitator, I don't know how he gets a 4 assists. But okay, continue.
Okay, but then you got Towns that can get you 20 points, 10 rebounds, and maybe like two blocks a game. You know. And I think Chris Dunn is a top 2 candidate for Rookie of the Year. It's him or Ben Simmons to me. And I feel like Chris Dunn, if he gets enough playing time, and don't forget they got Zach LaVine and Gorgie Daniel.
They got a deep team.
They still have Ricky Rubio too.
Yeah.
And don't forget the biggest signing of the offseason, Tom Thibodeau for them. I think he's gonna make them a fantastic team, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And he's really just gonna make the best of what he's got in the young talent that is Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of promise in that team. I don't know if they could potentially make a huge jump. I'm going to stay conservative and say that probably won't happen. But yeah, there's a lot of promise. I don't really like the Western Conference this year other than the top 3 teams. Mm-hmm. But so I think it's wide open for Minnesota to take.
Alright guys, let us know what you guys think about the West this year. Leave it down below. And hit subscribe if you like our stuff. Let us know you're watching. Alright, y'all. Until next time.
Adios.